Hey now, everybody. Good evening and welcome into Friday Night Live. My name is Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller back at the score desk and the good doctor on the network. Certainly glad you have tuned in. Looking forward to a wild night because it's already been wild. A couple of games have gone down to the wire, including a big matchup between Lamar and Seneca, where Lamar scored with no time on the clock, went for two and won 29-28. And we have reached out to head coach Jared Beshore there. We will be talking here off the bat with Luke Rader, the head coach at Stockton, as they got a win last night in their contest. But big night of football here. It's week 9, the last week of the regular season. There were games last night. There'll be some games tomorrow. There'll be some games that may be delayed tonight because of the rain. We'll get you updated on all that and more. But first, we're going to go into the score desk to Kent Mueller on what we have at this point.
All right, let me get back here to the top, and we'll start at the top and go all the way down. Game last evening, it was Grandview Hillsborough 42-12 over Crystal City. Branson defeated 29-0. It was Wood 38. Hazelwood Central 6. North County edged Sullivan 24-22. Republic put it to Willard 59-7. Elias 45. Lift Academy 28. And Jefferson City shuts out Lutheran St. Charles 42-0. Nixa stayed perfect 63-21 over Glendale. Portageville 34, Central of New Madrid County 34-0. Skyline 67, Diamond 7, Stockton 1, Pierce City 27. Kearney over Excelsior Springs 63-6, and Carthage 56-14 for Neosho. Those were all last evening in 8-man tonight. Tarkio over DeKalb 64-6. And that is the only 8-man I have right now. We'll move on to the 11-man. Tonight's scores: Brookfield over Marceline 22-7. Adrian 28. Colcamp 27. Clark County 54. Highland 16. Mountain Grove 42-34 over Thayer. Palmyra 40, South Shelby 6. Lafayette County over Carrollton 35-18. Fulton over Deschênes 42-6. And it was Deer Creek out of Mackinac, Illinois over Kelly 50-13. Lamar 29, Seneca 28. As Guy just mentioned a few moments ago, Blair Oaks 76, Southern Boone 3. Butler shuts out El Dorado Springs 14-0. Fredericktown 40, East Prairie 14. Centralia 20, Kirksville 17. It was Lawson over Lathrop 41-7. Mid Buchanan defeats East Buchanan 63-7. North Cali shuts out Wright City 54-0, and Ritz out Lexington 45-0. Union 35, Herman 0, Warsaw 86, Pleasant Hope 6. Afton 15, Normandy Collaborative 14. We have Boonville over Eldon 8-19. Elias over Lift Life Academy 45-28. McDonald County shuts out East Newton 28-0. Farmington over Central Park Hills 56-12. Hallsville over California 47-22. Kearney 63, Excelsior Springs 6. Smithfield shuts out Winnetonka 42-0. Christian Brothers stays perfect at 9-0. They defeated St. Mary's Southside 56-9. Jackson over Festus 62-21. And it was University City 38, Jennings 6. Logan Roseville 14, Bolivar 7. Nevada defeat Pleasant Hill 21-19. Camdenton over Southeast of Kansas City 3-0. Warrenton 13, Fort South 0. Hazelwood East 21, Parkway West 17. Lebanon over Waynesville 56-7. Lindbergh over Melville 44-0. Rockhurst defeats SLU this evening at home 35-14. Belton over Ruskin 40-0. Lafayette Wildwood stays perfect at 9-0, defeating Marquette 43-15. Park Hill shuts out Oak Park 5-0. Blue Springs defeats Liberty North 27-14. It was Oakville 10, northwest of Cedar Hill 7. Kickapoo edges Ozark 32-31. On games to be played tomorrow, it's Kip Casey Legacy at Central of Kansas City. John Burroughs will win in a forfeit tomorrow over Confluence Prep Academy. Parkway will travel to McClure North. Milledgeville, Illinois comes into Missouri to play North Shelby, and Priory will host Freeburg High of Illinois. Summit Christian will travel to Hogan Prep, and Knox County will win over Kiel in a forfeit tomorrow. Mexico travels to MICDS. Cuba travels to Perryville. Miller Academy will win in a forfeit over Roosevelt. It will be Cameron traveling to University Academy. That's at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Those are the scores that I have right now, Guy.
Sorry about that. I had my mic shut off. I said, you talked about that Kickapoo Ozark game. That was down to the wire. Kickapoo kicked a field goal as time expired there to win 32-31. Going to visit with the Stockton head coach just a second here. We've got Alan Hilliard from Alan Hilliard Sports is online. Maybe talk a little bit about the districts. Won't know a lot. Probably won't know for sure until maybe Sunday morning on what the matchups are going to be there in Week 10 as we begin the playoffs. But some tremendous games tonight. I want to remind everybody, do us a favor. Hey, I see, there's hundreds of folks watching right now. Hey, call somebody and let them know. Text them. Tell them to tune in right now. All right, welcome to the show now. Stockton head football coach Luke Rader. Coach Rader, congratulations. You get a win last night. Tell us about the ball game.
Thanks. Played Pierce City, and they've got some really good athletes. They kind of jumped out to a lead on us, kind of back and forth in the first quarter, and they were up 21-16 with about 3 minutes left in the first half. We were able to score and get a turnover and score again, and then we got the ball to start the second half. Went and punched another one in, and were able to get some stops defensively in the second half and kind of pull away as the second half went on. So really proud of our kids for how they answered that and bounced back.
Coach, you come out of that game, at this time, there's a bunch of bumps and bruises. It's just normal for football, but outside of that, are you guys relatively healthy?
For the most part, we haven't had any new major injuries pop up. Like you said, we've played in 9 weeks of football, so everybody's got something that's hurting, but nothing major.
Coach, I know not all your district stuff has been posted yet tonight, but really looking at it, there's not, I don't think, any way that you guys are going to move out of that third spot, and Lamar got a win tonight, and that's already up on the site. So those points are being spoken about. I mean, already collected. Who do you know that if you're going to play in the in that first round there in week 10?
You know, the 3 through 6 spots in our district are pretty close. Like you said, I think we're going to hold on to that 3. Us and Butler are really close there, but if we hold on to that, I think we will end up seeing El Dorado Springs in the first round.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Butler's game has already been calculated too, so you guys hang on to that 3 slot. What do you know about El Dorado Springs? And obviously not much now because unless you got to play them earlier this year.
Right. We have not played them this season. I know they're really physical. You know, they're a tough ball club that's going to line up and run the football, and they're pretty sound defensively. And like I said, just really physical.
Very good. Well, Coach, what do you feel like you're doing well right now as you've ended the regular season? Where have you seen maybe the most improvement with the Stockton Tigers?
We've had some young kids that have improved as the season has gone on. I think we've improved up front, which we had to replace several of those guys. So it's been nice to see those kids improve as the season has gone on. And I think our kids are getting more confident in the second half of the season, so that's nice to see also.
Did you get the chance to take in some games tonight, or did you kind of stay home, maybe watch them on streaming or anything like that, or did you just relax at home?
I actually just pulled back in we drove over to El Dorado and watched them take on Butler. So it was nice to be able to see them in person and take in a good ball game over there.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, Coach, greatly appreciate you being generous with your time. Congratulations on that win last night. Look forward to maybe getting you on next week after you get that first round win.
Well, I hope that's the case, and I appreciate you having me on and appreciate everything you do.
Thanks, Coach. Have a good evening.
You too.
That's Coach Luke Rader there from Stockton, and they'll be playing El Dorado Springs. That district, and Lamar's not going to get to the 1 seed. Well, the Holden score has not been put in yet, and Lamar is 3/100ths of a point behind them after their win has been calculated tonight. So I'm not sure. Let me check real quick on who Holden played. And Holden tonight was playing Knobnoster, who's also 7-1. So, and let's see what class Knobnoster in, because that would affect their class 3. So they're going to get bonus points. So they may jump. Well, no, they'll probably hang on to it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean jump, but they will probably hang on to that. Right now, we're going to bring in Alan Hilliard from Allen Hilliard Sports. Alan, you got to see Lebanon in person tonight. What was that like?
Lebanon, a very good team. Their record does not define who they are because in their district, it's showing 5-4, but some, playing Webb City and Joplin early and some of their other opponents. Hill scored, I think twice in the ball game at least. But Lebanon had 3 rushing touchdowns from the line of scrimmage, at least 60 yards. They had started off the game with probably a 40-yard passing touchdown. So they're a very good all-around team. And Waynesville, just injuries, is getting to that point in the season where it's making it difficult to compete with some of these stronger teams.
Anything, tonight maybe jump out and shock you as far as scores? Maybe the Lamar over Seneca game, but Seneca kind of locked up that number 1 seed. We're not played for them tonight, but it's Lamar, and they did this last year where they had a maybe subpar record for Lamar, and then they go and win the state championship. Any other scores maybe jump out at you?
Well, the Kickapoo score is one that I was not actually paying attention to there, but I was listening to the show as a lot of the games in the COC were last night, so not a lot to watch during the game actually this week. I watched the Camdenton game. They were up big early, but a big win by Kickapoo on that. That is enough to secure them a home playoff game against Ray Peck.
So they're going to get to play at home. Have you looked at that district then, how that stands?
Yeah, looks like Nixa is going to be number 1. We all knew that. And then Joplin 2, Ozark 3, and Kickapoo 4. So Kickapoo will save that trip up, Interstate 49, I guess, for now anyway.
All right, very good. And I know we're going to try and get you on and talk some Class 5 district matchups, and not everything will be really settled until tomorrow. You can probably come up with most of the district standings tonight, but it'll be later on because a lot of these schools haven't posted their scores yet, so the calculations haven't been determined or the formula hasn't been run at this point. So,
yep, exactly. There's several of them that haven't updated yet.
Any particular district that you're looking maybe forward to seeing how they come out?
I'm just kind of curious on the Webb City Neosho district, how that's all going to come out in the wash here in the end after everyone's got their scores in, which Parkview doesn't have theirs, but they're not going to affect anything. But it looks like Carthage is going to be 1, Republic 2, and Webb City 3 in that one. But Branson does have a better record, but loses by points to Webb City because of probably the COC competition.
Well, and they had Webb City played up, tonight. They played a Class 6 school Joplin, so that may have had something to do with that.
Yeah, but some good districts to look at and talk about, before this weekend here, and should be some good football next weekend.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking at Jackson's district right now, and Jackson, one of the powerhouses in the state, and they're sitting at number 1 at 9-0, but there's 3 7-2 teams right behind them. Northwest Cedar Hill, Seckman, Oakville, and of course Lindbergh down just 3-6. But all that district has all of their scores in from tonight or from week 9 anyway. I don't know if they all played tonight, but all those are in, and Northwest Cedar Hill stays in front of Seckman by 0.28. So they get the home game as Seckman gets a home game too, but Northwest Cedar Hill will host Lindbergh and Seckman will host Oakville. And both teams there will be 7-2, but it's still going to have to go through Jackson there. But we'll take a look at some of the other districts. We've got Mount Grove. We got Jackson head coach Ryan Nesbitt coming up at 10:05, and then Mountain Grove head coach Dan Swafford coming on at 10:15. They get a big win over a very good Thayer team, and Mountain Grove's very good. I mean, they're ranked in Class 3. Thayer's ranked number 1 in Class 1.
Oh, absolutely. There's some really good matchups every year in Southwest Missouri. That Seneca-Lamar game, I mean, the records don't dictate, how good that game is every year.
Yes, indeed. We're still tracking down finals, but what we're going to do right now, and Alan, you're welcome to stay on, or if you need to bolt, just send me a message here. But welcome to stay on. We'll come back and we'll run through the scores again. But at this point, we're going to take a time out right here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Hey, wanting history on the high school fields and courts? Welcome to Missouri Milestones, the podcast, your new go-to source for celebrating the best of the best in Missouri high school sports. We're not just talking scores and highlights. We are bringing you the most extensive list of athletes from across the state who have reached career-defining milestones. We're talking 1,000-point scores, 4,000-yard passers, and setters with 1,000 assists, past and present. In each episode, we sit down with one of these standout athletes to hear their story straight from the source, the work, the mindset, and the moments that made it happen. If you are a coach, an AD, an athlete, or a proud sports parent, this is the podcast made for you. Follow along on X. Connect with Kent Mueller at Plain_sports and Guy Newcomb at Scoreboard Guy, and never miss a milestone. Missouri Milestones, the podcast, because history isn't just written, it's earned.
Things are a little tight for Terrence right now. But they won't be for long, because Central Bank makes it easier for customers like Terrence to dream bigger.
More room would be nice.
With mortgage solutions that can open the door to more space.
That's what I'm talking about.
For his growing family.
Growing family?
Honey, guess what?
You got this, buddy.
Unplug and unlock. Road trips on easy mode. And a really big touchscreen for the biggest jams. And qualify for up to $7,500 in tax credit with the Equinox EV. Unlock the tech and the value. With the 2025 Equinox EV, America's most affordable over 315-mile range EV. And Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Whether your day starts early or goes late into the night, brings the discovery of something new, or just the work of getting it done, it's all easier with a little help. At Great Southern Bank, we understand the importance of having a trusted, reliable support team who can offer you helpful resources and smart options to make the most of what you have and build on it, with possibilities that inspire you to keep going. Find your support team at GreatSouthernBank.com. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller here. Kent Mueller's, well, not alongside. He's at the score desk in Kansas City, Missouri. But I encourage everybody again, hey, go to our chat box. You can chat with us, and we've actually had a message here now. Said, well, it's from Alan. Said, I'm listening till he gets home. So, all right, Alan, thank you. You can go to our chat box on our YouTube channel. And, hey, I'd encourage you. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Go to our Facebook page and give us a like. It's all under Missouri Sports Network, and then you'll be the smartest fan in the stands. We'll go back to the score desk for the updated scores from Playing on Sports. Kent Mueller, take it away.
All right, with games last evening, it was Grandview Hillsboro over Crystal City 42-12. Branson defeated Hillcrest last night 20-0. Kirkwood over Hazelwood Central 38-6. North County edged Sullivan at home 4-22. It was Republic 59, Willard 7, Helias 45, Lift for Life Academy 28. Jefferson City shuts out Lutheran St. Charles 42-0. Nixa over Glendale C-21. Portageville defeats Central of New Madrid County 34-0. Skyline 67, Diamond 7. Stockton 51, Pierre City 27. It was Kearney over Excelsior Springs 63-6, while Carthage defeated Neosho 56-14. In 8-man games this evening, Tarkio over DeKalb 64-6. The Rockport over Mound City 36-14. Worth County defeats King City 36-22.
All right, very good. We're joined now by Logan Rogersville head football coach Joel Wells. Coach Wells, thanks for joining us.
You bet.
Coach, big win tonight. Sound like a defensive struggle. Tell us about the ball game.
Well, it was Bolivar played extremely well, especially defensively. they came out and took the opening kickoff and took almost 10 minutes off the clock and scored. I think we ran 3 plays in the first 17 minutes of the game. And then we hurt ourselves with penalties and were able to get it tied at 7. And then it was just a battle back and forth, and we ended up getting a blocking a punt and getting the short field, and ended up scoring with about 3 or 4 minutes left in the game to go up 14, and then got a defensive stop. So but it was a great football game. Bolivar they did a really nice job up front, and Coach Clardy did a really nice job having them ready.
Coach, did you come out of tonight's contest relatively healthy?
We did. We came out pretty healthy. For this time of year, that's a huge deal. I mean, we've got several kids that are out and been out a while, but for the ones that we played with tonight, we came out pretty healthy.
Now you've got, as the way it looks right now, and I think almost all the scores are in, are been calculated. It looks like you may play Bolivar again.
Well, we should probably play Marshfield because we will flip Carl Junction because we beat Carl Junction. So we should flip to the 2 seed.
Well, it's got you at the 2 seed right now.
Okay.
And Bolivar.
Okay.
Well, Bolivar will jump Marshfield. You're right. Bolivar will go ahead and move up and jump Marshfield.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So we should play Marshfield, but I'll wait till they tell me for sure.
Now, what do you know about Marshfield?
No, when we played them earlier in the year, that game got away from them really, really quick. We scored, they snapped it in for a safety. We scored, they snapped it in for another save. We were up 25-0, and they hadn't ran a play yet. So, they're a lot better football team than that. So we're expecting, a whole lot better battle than they gave up that night for sure. They played Bolivar a 37-35 game, and they played good against they beat Parton U. I mean, they're a lot better football team than what they showed against us.
Coach, and again visiting with Logan Rogersville head football coach Joe Wells. Coach, what do you feel like right now at this point of the season, the end of the regular season? You're doing really well.
Well, we'd come out and played extremely well early and fast in about all of our ball games except tonight, and we really hurt ourselves with some penalties in the first half that really set us back. The first play that we had on offense, we ripped off for about 40 yards and got a blindside block penalty that set it back, so we really hurt ourselves with some penalties and didn't play as well offensively as we have been playing. So we'll have to get back to work and see if we can get a little bit better there.
All right, Coach. Well, hey, everybody's 0-0 right now. You got to feel good about it.
Yeah, exactly. We're happy to get 7 wins, and hopefully we can get 8 next week.
Very good. Well, Coach, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time, and we'll maybe see you Monday at the Quarterback Club.
Okay, I'll see you there.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Bet. Bye.
Coach Joe Wells there, kind enough to join us from Logan Rogersville, as they will play Marshfield that game. Now, they're the only caveat there is what Monette's final score is with Mount Vernon, because it's not been posted yet, and Marshfield may jump Monette, and if that happens, then it would be Bolivar once again. But we'll see. But they're 3 points behind Monette as of now. And Marshfield actually played Highland, Arkansas tonight, so I'm not sure how that figures in either. But we will go back to the score desk and Kent Mueller and let him continue on until we hit Ryan Nesbitt here in about 4 minutes from Jackson High School.
All right, we'll go right in with the 11-man games tonight. Montgomery County defeated Louisiana 54-20. West Platte over North Platte 21-34. Penny defeated Plattsburgh 27-0. Brookfield over Marceline 22-7. Adrian edged Cole Camp on the road, 28-27. Marionville over Miller, 45-6. Mountain Grove, 42. Thayer, 34. Palmyra defeated South Shelby, 40-6. Polo over Maysville, 22-15. Van Far defeated Scotland County this evening, 46-14. It was Lafayette County over Carrollton, 35-18. Fulton over Deschênes, 42-6. Deer Creek out of Mackinac, Illinois defeats Kelly, 50-13. Lamar edged Seneca, 29-28. City, 54. Macon, 21. St. Vincent defeats Jefferson at Festus, 41-8. It was Blair Oak, 76. Southern Boone, 3. Butler shuts out El Dorado Springs, 14-0. Fredericktown defeats East Prairie, 40-14. Nobna Holden, 28-14. And it was Centralia with 20. Kirksville with 17. Lawson, 41, Lip 7. Trenton over Lone Jack, 42-7. Mid Buchanan stays perfect this year at 9-0. There, it was 63-7 over East Buchanan. North Callaway, 54, Wright City, 0. Richmond shuts out Lexington, 45-0. Union shuts out 35-0. Warsaw, 86-6 over Pleasant Hope. Afton over Normandy Collaborative, 15-14. Boonville over Eldon, 58-19. And DeSoto, 35. Herculaneum, 26. Yes, defeated Lift for Life Academy, this 45-28. Osage edged St. Francis Borgia at home, 13-12. Chillicothe in a home game defeats Benton, 29-0. McDonald County went on the road, defeat East Newton, 28-0. Farmington, 56. Central Park Hills, 12. Hallsville over California, 47-0. And Maryville shuts out Lafayette out of St. Joseph, 51-0. It was St. Clair over Owensville, 55-15. Hollister over Reed Spring, 56-42. Warrensburg shuts out 40-0. Kearney all over Excelsior Spring, a perfect 63-6.
All right. Very good. Go back to the phone lines. Welcome in Jackson head football coach Ryan Nesbitt. Coach Nesbitt, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me on, guy.
Coach, a big win tonight over a good team. Tell us a little bit about tonight's contest.
Yeah. We got up to a little slow start with some special teams. They had 2 kickoff returns, touchdowns early. Still got some things we got to clean up there, but offensively we played well. Able to blow it open fairly early in the third, but it was 42-21 at half and ended up 62-21.
Did you come out of tonight's contest healthy?
Yeah. A few nicks and bumps, bruises, those types of things, but nothing major.
Tell us a little bit about some of the individuals or maybe individual groups that really played well for you tonight.
Offensively, I think we finished with a high output. I think we were unofficially around 575 of offense, threw for 210, I believe. And Jalen Hampton had a big night with four rushing touchdowns. I think we ran for 350 yards as an offense. So offense played well. Defense settled in, pitched a shutout in the last 3 quarters. So.
This kind of solidifies you as that 1 seed, and going into it tonight, I felt like you were going to be there anyway, no matter the outcome. But there's just 6 losses among the 3 combined among the 3 teams that are behind you. That's a tough district. Can you kind of handicap that a little bit?
Yeah, we're going to enjoy it tonight. There's still going to be a game next week to determine who we play. So we'll get about the business of bye week and trying to get a little bit better and work on some things, and then see who we end up playing.
Very good, Coach. Any scores tonight? Have you been able to check any of them? Anything surprise you?
Nothing surprising, but just kind of watching like all fans are.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, Coach Nesbitt, again, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time here. Congratulations on the victory, and maybe we can visit throughout the playoffs.
You bet. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Bye.
Coach Ryan Nesbitt there from Jackson, as they've scored 477 points this year. They're averaging 53 points per contest, while they've only given up 15 points per game. They're 9-0 right now. Their district consists of Northwest Cedar Hill at number 2, which is also 7-2, Seckman at number 3, which is also 7-2, and Oakville at number 4, which is also 7-2. Then you've got Lindbergh behind them at 3 and 6. Well, we will go back to the score desk and kind of round out the scores here. Take a break after that, then we'll come back with Dan Swafford from Mountain Grove as they get a big win. Back to Kent Mueller at the score desk.
All right, I have some 8-man scores from this evening. I was Wellington Napoleon over Concordia 28-22. Drexel all over New Heights Christian Academy 70-20. St. Paul Lutheran of Concordia 47, Oric 14. Paris defeated Schuyler County 61-14. St. Joseph Christian defeated Princeton 42-38. Appleton City shuts out Jasper tonight 52-0. Northland Christian 30. Kansas City East Christian, which is on the Kansas side in the metro area, 30-18. Lockwood shuts out Rich Hill 63-0. It was West Nottoway 56, South Holt 6. South Nottoway 56, Stewartsville 34, and Worth County won at home against King City 36-22. And
Very good. We'll go ahead and we'll take a quick timeout here, and we'll pass the timeout. We've only taken one break at this point, so we've got to pay the bills, and so we can all eat. So we're going to take time out, and we'll be back in 2 minutes here on the Missouri Sports Network.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. The heartbeat's strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving, doing what they do best. Helping neighbors, pitching in, getting it done. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. And every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Seems Bill's up the creek without a paddle.
That's not funny.
And while he really wants a new boat, at Central Bank, we're helping Bill plan for what's most important, like retiring early and fishing whenever he wants. Hey, Bill, try it again.
Fine.
Hope a new boat's part of this plan.
Dream bigger, Bill. We're thinking about a cabin, too.
Now that's a plan.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State Campus, Hammonds Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
Hey now, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller, the good doctor in the back room, putting up the scores and having a lot of fun. Last we heard, Mount Vernon and Monette were tied up in the fourth quarter at 42. And, when you get those Mocs coaching on the field, you're going to expect long games and a lot of points. But it is 42 all in the fourth quarter. That's not the only game that's really it's just gotten crazy. But anyway, we'll go back to the score desk as we wait Dan Swafford from Mountain Grove here at 10:15. Go back to Kent Mueller at the score desk and run through as many as we can get in 3 minutes.
All right, we'll see what we can do. We have Ash Grove 18-10 over Sarcoxy. Montgomery County 54, Anna 21. West Platte defeated North Platte this evening 41-34. Penny shuts out Plattsburgh 27-0. Sherwood shut out Versailles 54, and it was Brookfield 22, Marceline 7. Adrian edged Colcamp on the road 28-27. And Brookfield won at home 22-7 over Marceline. Adrian edged Colcamp 28-27. Clark County 54, Highland 16, Marionville 45, Miller 6. Mountain Grove defeated Thayer at home 42-34. Palmyra 40, South Shelby 6. Polo 22, Maysville 15. Van Far 46, Scotland County 14. It was Lafayette County over Carrollton 35-18. Fulton defeats Deschênes 42-6, and it was Deer Creek out of Mackinac, Illinois, coming into Missouri, defeat Kelly 50-13. Our edged Seneca at home 29-28. Monroe City over Macon 54-21. Clever 13, Springfield Catholic 7, St. Vincent 41, Jefferson Festus 8. Fairgrove over Stratford 35-7. It was Blair Oak 76, Southern Boone 3.
All right, we're going to go back to the phone lines. We welcome in Mountain Grove head coach Dan Swafford. Coach Swafford, thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Coach, big win tonight, conference championship on the line, a very good Thayer team. Tell us about the ball game.
Well, it was just a hard-fought game, and it was just what we thought it would be. It was a battle from the first kickoff to the last buzzer. Two teams just trying to win a championship, and two good teams that work hard and have a lot of tradition. So it was just a hard-fought high school football game. It's like what everybody wants to see on a Friday night. So it was awesome.
42-34 is the final. Tell us about any standout performances that you had.
Well, we had several guys, but our quarterback Aiden Eastep always is just a threat. He's throwing for a couple touchdowns and then ran the ball a lot. And then our fullback had a great night tonight, and then our defense played really well, and we had just good performances out of our linebackers. Wood Curtis and Aiden Barr played really well. And I say that there was a whole lot of guys that played really well. It took 11 guys on each side of the ball to get that win tonight.
Coach, you won 8 in a row right now. What do you feel like you're doing really well right now as a team as you head into the postseason?
Well, we're playing our ball, just running the football, doing what we do offensively, and then our kids are playing hard, defense, just tackling, pretty well. We had a little struggle with the tackling a little bit tonight, but long story short, it's a team effort and everybody's working together. We're just playing with one heartbeat.
As you look at your district there, tell us a little bit about that district. You're going to hang on to the 1 seed. a very good and maybe a surprise team a little bit with Clever coming
Sure.
in at number 2. What does your first round look like? Or do you get a bye?
I think it's like a winner between Salem and Stratford. But now, look, I don't really look at that stuff very much, and I just hear what people say more than anything. I just take it one week at a time and go from there.
Yes. St. James would play Buffalo, and then Salem would play Stratford there.
Yeah.
At that time. At what point do you kind of maybe start preparing for it? And all the scores are in, all the formulas are concluded now, so this is how it's going to finish. At what point do you start looking at that, trying to gain game film?
Well, we about 3 weeks ago. you got to just have one eye in the future and a whole lot of eyes in the present time. It's a fine line. It's a balance that coaches always are struggling with. You want to stay in what you're doing and in the here and the now. But the fact of the matter is, I think good programs kind of look a week or 2 weeks ahead and just kind of thinking about those things and what you might need to do in the future. But again, it kind of gets back to working in the here and now, and so that's what we'll do.
And after playing just this very physical, high-scoring game tonight with Thayer, it's got to be good to get a week off and maybe heal up just some bumps and bruises.
Well, for sure, it's a fine line of getting to heal up a little bit and get your legs under you, but keeping your rhythm and learning to be a good football player in week 10, week 11, week 12. And that's always a challenge, but I think, we'll do a good job of it. We've been there before, so we're going to keep doing it.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time. Congratulations on the win and the bye next week, and hopefully we'll get to visit with you several times through the playoffs.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
You bet, Coach. Have a good evening.
Right, bye-bye.
Coach Dan Swafford there, kind enough to join us, and a big win. I mean, that is a big win. Thayer's a very, very good team. They're the 1 seed in their district, I believe, and I haven't checked that because with that loss, that may have dropped them because they're in a brutal district as well. Is Thayer? They're with Ash Grove and Marionville and the likes, I believe. Yeah, they are. Yep, they're going to hang on to the 1 seed right now. So in that district with Thayer, they're the 1. Marionville's the 2. Ash Grove is the 3. Miller is the 4. Pierce City the 5, and then Kabul. So with that just being a 16 district, Thayer and Marionville will both receive byes. Ash Grove will host Kabul and will host Pierce City. Everybody's tuning in. Hey, I invite you to, drop us a note. You can send us a note on Twitter. You can send it to us on Facebook, and you can send it to us on our YouTube page. Just goes right in the chat box, and it will pop up. And if we've missed a game or if there's any information that you have that we don't have, which does happen. It does happen indeed. But we'll go back to the score desk here. It's 10:25. We'll be joined by Nate Thomas from Kickapoo as they got a field goal as time expired. But back to the Kent Mueller at the score desk.
Okay, we'll start with the big schools first. We have Kickapoo over Ozark, 32-31 this evening. Oakville over Northwest Cedar Hill, 10-7. Blue Springs defeated Liberty North, 27-14, and it was Lee Summit 37, Lee Summit North 16. Park Hill South 28, Central of St. Joseph 14, 28-14. Park Hill South over Central St. Joe. Park Hill 45, Oak Park 0. Liberty defeated North Kansas City 42-21 this evening. It was Lafayette Wildwood 43, Marquette 15. Blue Springs South defeats Lee Summit West 42-9. Belton over Ruskin 44-0. Rockhurst over Slough at home 35-14. It was Lindbergh 44, Mel 0. Parkway South 42, Hazelwood West. Grain Valley thumps Truman 65-6. Washington over Francis Howell Central 45-38. And it was Lebanon 56, Waynesville 7. Platte County over Raytown 2-7. Platte County stays perfect at 9-0. Hazelwood East 21, Parkway West 17. Parkview won a close one at home, 18-16 over Rolla. Carthage 56, Neosho 14. Webb City 42, Joplin 28, and Fort Osage shuts out William Chrisman 35-0. Warrenton defeats Fort Zumwalt South 13-0. St. Pius of Kansas City gave Savannah their first loss. It was Pius 21, Savannah 20. Camdenton all over southeast of Kansas City 63-0. Northeast of Kansas City 55. They defeated J.C. Harmon out of Wyandotte County, Kansas 55-12. Nevada 21, Park Hill 19. Logan Rogersville over Bolivar 14-7. University City defeated Jennings 38-6. Jackson 62, Festus 21. West Plains over Carl Junction 37-30. Lincoln College Prep defeated Sumner High out of Kansas City 38-26. Christian Brothers over St. Mary's South Side 56-9. Christian Brothers stays perfect at 9-0. Smithville shuts out Winnetonka 42-0. Odessa over Harrisonville at home 33-28. Marshfield defeats Highland High out of Arkansas at home 28-20. Kearney 63, Excelsior Springs 6, Fort Zumwalt West 31, Hannibal 28. Warrensburg shuts out Oak Grove 40-0. And it was Hollister winning on the road over Reed Spring 56-42. St. Clair 55, Owensville 15. Maryville at home 51-0 over Lafayette High of St. Joseph. Hallsville defeated California 47-22. Farmington 56, Central Park Hills 12. McDonald County over East Newton 28-0. Chillicothe shuts out Benton 29-0. 42, Aurora 14. Osage in a close one at home over St. Francis Borgia 13-12. Mount Vernon 50 over Monette 42. Elias 45, Lift for Life Academy 28. DeSoto goes on the road to defeat Herculaneum 35-26. Boonville 58, Eldon 19. Ashton in a close one wins at home 15-14 over Normandy Collaborative. Ava defeats Willow Springs tonight 77-36, and it was Warsaw 86, Pleasant Hope 6. Union shuts out Herman 35-0 this evening. Richmond defeated 45-0. North Callaway 54, Wright City 0. Mid Buchanan stayed perfect at 9 by defeating East Buchanan 63-7. Trenton went on the road to defeat Lone Jack 42-7 over Lathrop 41-7. And it was Centralia in a close one on the road over Kirksville 20-17. Knobnoster 28, Holden 14. Fredericktown won at home this evening 40-14 over East Prairie. Butler went on the road to shut out El Dorado Springs 4-0. Oaks stayed 9-0, stayed undefeated at 9-0 by defeating Southern Boone 76-3. Fair Grove 35, Stratford 7. St. Vincent defeats Jefferson of Festus 41-8.
All right. We're joined now by Kickapoo head football coach Nate Thomas. Coach Thomas, hey, congratulations on the win. You had them all the way.
I appreciate it, guy. Thank you. I think I might have aged 10 years, but we got it done.
Coach, tell us about the game. It was exciting. I was watching it back and forth, and the game was kind of back and forth as well. But tell us about the ball game.
They jumped all over us really quick. Jed Easley is a heck of a football player, and Coach Cordell and his staff do a really good job of getting his guys, especially him and his son, the ball out in space. And they took the opening play 80 yards on a little jet sweep. So we got down kind of before we could blink, and really proud of our guys for battling back, making a game. Went right back down when we did get the ball back and scored. And then it was just back and forth kind of all night. So.
Well, what does this mean for your program with regards to districts? You get back-to-back wins now, I believe, and kind of moving up there in that district. Are you going to get a home game now?
No, I'm not. What it does is it gives us a bye, and we'll end up playing Joplin at Joplin. That was the deal. With us now being a consecutive seed with Ozark, even though their points are higher than ours, it kind of goes back to the way it was and the way it happened last year, where consecutive seeds go to heads up, and so we'll do the automatic switch, and we'll end up playing Joplin at Joplin, and Ozark will have a home game against Ray Peck next Friday on Halloween.
So Joplin, a team you're familiar with, what do you know about them as far as this year?
Very well coached, as always. Coach Jasper and his staff, they do a tremendous job. You look at what they were able to do there in the middle part of the year when they lost their quarterback, and the way they were able to play Nixa and see you, buddy. They took a backup and were able to run their offense efficiently. They've got some special players on defense. It'll be a task. I don't think we're the same football team that we were week one, and I don't think they are either. And I think it's an opportunity that our guys are looking forward to.
Coach, and again, we're visiting with Nate Thomas, head coach at Kickapoo. Coach Thomas, you come out of tonight's contest relatively healthy?
Well, that was the crazy part. We literally lost both of our inside linebackers in the second quarter, and we were already down one. So we ended up having a sophomore in there. And to tell you the truth, Nate McShane, he played JV last Monday and came in for the entire second half. And, the young man had a tackle for loss, a huge play in the game, and just battled. And, it kind of goes back to our guys of, we got to prep every week and with the intent that we're going to be the next guy in. We could be at any time, and that happened tonight. Luckily, those rose.
Will this bye week, so to speak, will that help you out a little bit?
It will. I think our inside linebacker, our senior, it's going to allow him a week to be able to heal up. We should get him back. Our other linebacker kind of just hyperextended his knee a little bit. So I think it was in that third quarter. So it'll give both of those guys an opportunity to heal up next week and give us an extra week, couple days of prep for Joplin before we head into game week after next.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, again, congratulations on the back-to-back wins here, and good luck as you head in and go out and get a win here in 2 weeks and come back on and tell us about that.
I appreciate it, guy. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks, Coach. Have a great evening.
All right.
Coach Nate Thomas there, kind enough to join us here. It is 10:30. So if you're not where you need to be, just slow down. Make sure your seatbelt's on. Make sure everybody that's in your car has got their seatbelt on. Hey, are you turning 65 soon? Maybe already retired. Medicare can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be. At Calhoun and Associates Insurance, they make Medicare enrollment smooth, simple, and stress-free. And that's just the beginning. From choosing the right plan to creating a retirement strategy that lasts, Calhoun and Associates Insurance is your one-stop shop for a secure future. Hey, they'll help you understand your options, avoid costly mistakes, and build the retirement you deserve. Because you've worked hard your whole life. Now it's time to enjoy it. Call Calhoun and Associates Insurance tomorrow at 417-379-2157 or visit calhouninsurances.com. Your golden years start with a golden plan. Going to take a time out. We'll be back after these messages from the Missouri Sports Network.
Any given Saturday. And a little work. And a little play. Hey, little help? And a truck that says no to nothing.
Hi, Dad. Can I get them a ride?
Yeah. The Silverado Trail Boss and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Leaders know there's no guide to greatness. When everyone else says something can't be done, they know it only hasn't been done yet. True leaders weather the fiercest storms and look deep within themselves to rise above and help others find their way forward. At Great Southern Bank, we're proud to partner with visionaries that help raise the tide for all of us. And when you're ready to bring your vision to life, we'll be right behind you with award-winning support.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Hey, now, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. And if you're listening live, it's 10:33. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller back at the score desk. We'll go back to Kent as we await Coach Mac Whitehead from Clever will be joining us at 10:40. And then Chris Conley from Forsyth, making his first appearance this year, will join us at 10:50. But back to the score desk and a rundown of tonight's scores at this point we have.
All right, we have tonight, Staley defeated Ray Peck 20-17. Kickapoo defeated Ozark on the road 32-31. Oakville 10, Northwest Cedar Hill 7. Blue Springs over Liberty North 27-14. Lee Summit defeated Lee Summit North 37-16. Park Hill South won at home 28-14 over Central St. Joseph. Park Hill shut out Oak Park on the road 45-0. Liberty over North Kansas City 42-21. Lafayette Wild 43, Marquette 15. It was Blue Springs South 42, Lee Summit West 9. Blue Springs South 42-9 over Lee Summit West. Seckman 56, Webster Groves 23. Belton over Ruskin 44-0. Rockhurst won at home against St. Louis University High 30-14. And Lindbergh shuts out Melville at home 44-0. Parkway South 42, Hazelwood West 8. Grain Valley won at home against Truman 65-6. Washington over Francis Howell Central 45-38. Lebanon over Waynesville 56-7. Troy Buchanan 49, Battle 0. Rockwood Summit won at home 26-0 over Rittenauer. Platte County over Ray 42-7. Hazelwood East 21, Parkway West 17. Parkview won a close one at home over Rolla 18-16. Carthage 56-14. Webb City went on the road to defeat Joplin 52-28. 8. Fort Osage shuts out William Chrisman at home 35-0. Belleville East out of Illinois came into Missouri to defeat Capital City 27-10. Warrenton at home shuts out Fort Zumwalt South 13-0. Pius of Kansas City, a close one at home, 21-20 over previously undefeated Savannah. Camdenton 63 over southeast of KC with 0. Northeast of Kansas City 5. J.C. Harmon out of Wyandotte County, Kansas 12. It was the Vikings over J.C. Harmon 55-12. Nevada defeats Pleasant Hill 21-19. Logan Rogersville, Bolivar 7. University City 38, Jennings 6. And it was Jackson over Festus 62-21. West Plains defeated Carl Junction this evening 37-30. Lincoln College Prep goes into Kansas to play Sumner and won 38-26. Christian Brothers 56, St. Mary's Southside 9. St. Dominic won at home against Westminster Christian 45-21. Smithville 42, Winnetonka 0. Odessa over Harrisonville 33-28. Marshfield 28. Highland High out of Arkansas 20. Liberty Wentzville won at home against Holt 42-10. Kearney defeats Excelsior Springs 63-6 and defeated. Fort West 31, Hannibal 28. Warrensburg shuts out Oak Grove at home 40-0. Van Horn 24 at home against Pembroke Hill with 17. That's Van Horn 24, Pembroke Hill 17. Hollister 56, Reed Spring 42. St. Clair 55, Owensville 55. Maryville shuts out Lafayette St. Joseph at home 51-0. Hallsville over California 47-22. Farmington 56, Central Park Hills 12. McDonald County goes on the road to Newton 28-0. Chillicothe defeats Benton at home 29-0. It was Cassville 2, Aurora with 14 this evening. Osage in a very close at home over St. Francis Borgia 13-12. Mount Vernon defeats Monette at home 50-42. Elias 45 on the road against Lift for Life with 28. That's Elias winning 45-28. DeSoto goes on the road to defeat Herculaneum 35-26. Boonville over Eldon 58-19. Afton won at home 54-14 over Normandy Collaborative. Ava over Willow Springs 77-36. Warsaw 86, Pleasant Hope 6. Union 35, Herman 0. Richmond shuts out Lexington at home 45-0. North Callaway shuts out Wright City at home 54-0.
We're going now back to the phone lines, and we bring in Clever head football coach Mac Whitehead. Coach Whitehead, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Coach, big win tonight. Tell us about the contest in that win over Springfield Catholic.
Well, it was kind of boring in the first half. If you like offense, both defenses really played really well in the first half, and took both offenses a little bit to kind of figure each other out. But, 0-0 going in at half and challenged our kids at halftime to come out and play more physical. And I thought we did. And we took the opening drive and were able to score. And, our defense kept giving us stops. And, we were able to score again and hold them to one score. And so it was a good game. Our defense played lights out tonight.
Let's talk about some of those kids that really played well for you tonight, or maybe it's a group of individuals.
Well, I thought, Braden Baker, our senior quarterback, I thought he played a really good game tonight. We've been playing two quarterbacks, the sophomore Brecken Vestal and Braden. They've been rotating, two series at a time. And, Baker came in tonight and played real well and wound up playing the whole second half and made a couple of critical throws for us. And, we had Trenton Allen back this week, our sophomore wide receivers, super dynamic and is a big play kid. And, we missed him last week against Stratford. And, we're just a different offense when he's on the field because he's got the potential to, to take one to the house every snap. So, and, in our defense, again, we held, Catholic to one score and, our senior linebackers, Malachi Crawford and Quentin and Tavis Limmer, they're all playing really at high levels right now.
What does this mean for next week? You've got, I believe you're going to host Pleasant Hope.
That's right, and that's it's exciting for our program. This is the first time in program history to host a Week 10 game, and with the possibility of even hosting Week 11. So, our kids have worked so hard to get to this point, and it's very exciting for our community. It's exciting for our high school, and it's exciting for our younger kids to see that and witness it and to understand what it takes to win. So, we're really excited about the chance to host Week 10 and take one game at a time, and hopefully we can play again Week 11 and Week 12 and just keep this rolling.
Did you guys come out of tonight's contest relatively healthy?
We did, 2 weeks ago against Hollister. I think I told you last time we've been pretty lucky, and then within about 6 plays again at Hollister, we lose Trenton Allen and we lose Tavis Limmer. And both of those kids sat against Stratford, and we didn't know if we'd get them back this week, but they did exactly what they needed to do, and were able to get back on the field tonight.
What does it look like next week? Do you change anything up? I mean, now you know who your opponent is. Obviously, you'll be looking at film there, but what do you do here in a playoff type setting that maybe you don't do during the regular season?
Well, I think for us, I was, I didn't want the 1 seed in the bye. I wanted us to keep our schedule as regular as we could. I wanted to come in on Monday and have an opponent and know that we were going to play on Friday night. So, I think the seeds really worked out in our favor. We get to play Friday night. We get to continue building that momentum, and we're not going to change anything. We're going to try to run the ball and establish the run game and then use play action off of that. So, I'm excited to play Friday night. It should be a lot of fun.
Coach, going back to your playing days, you had a very successful career there at Seneca. How has the preparation changed? I mean, I know there's huddle and there's things like that, but talk just a little bit about how the preparation has changed since you were a player and now being a coach.
Huddle has been the biggest difference. The kids tease me all the time when I start telling stories about, I think my freshman year, we were still using 8mm film, and I make that, and having to rewind it back. And now, kids have it on their phone. They can watch it, whenever they want. And so I think that is the biggest difference between when I was playing. We may see 1 or 2 clips of our opponent, and now kids have access to multiple games. And so I think, that's probably the biggest difference.
Very good. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time, and we look forward to spending more time at the quarterback club here over the next couple of weeks.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
All right, Coach. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Mac Whitehead from Clever, kind enough to join us here as we're kind of on the downhill side of this, but we'll go back to the score desk because I don't think can't get through the scores at one time yet. But it's always good to hear from the coaches. But people really tune in. They want to hear the scores and the coaches. So we'll go back to the score desk. Get Mueller.
All right, we'll try to get through all of them. We'll start with last night's and see how far we go. Last night, Grandview Hillsboro defeated Crystal City 42-12. Branson over Hillcrest 29-0. To Kirkwood over Hazelwood Central 38-6. North County 24, Sullivan 22. These are all games played last night. Republic over Willard 59-7. Helias over Lift for Life Academy 45-28. Jefferson City shuts out Lutheran St. Charles at home 42-0. Nixa 63, Glendale 21. Portageville 34, Central New Madrid County 0. It was Skyline over Diamond 67-7. Stockton 51, Pierce City 27. Kearney defeated Excelsior Springs last evening 63-6, and Carthage defeated Neosho 56-14. In games played this evening, starting with the end games, Bramer 86, Slater 58, Tarkio over DeKalb 64-6. Appleton City goes on the road to shut out Jasper 52-6. Drexel 70, New Heights Christian 20. Northland Christian 30 in a win over Kansas City East Christian. That's a school on the Kansas side of the metro area. Northland Christian prevails 30-18 this evening. Osceola 42, Greenfield 40. Rockport defeated Mound City 36-14. West Nottoway over South Holt 56-6. South Nottoway 56, Stewartsville 34, Lincoln over Bishop LeBlond. It's Bishop LeBlond over Lincoln 44-36. Wellington Napoleon defeated Concordia this evening 28-22. St. Paul Lutheran over Oric 47-14. Lockwood shuts out Rich Hill 63-0. Paris over Schuyler County 61-14. St. Joseph Christian held court at home over Princeton 42-38, and it was Worth County 36, King City 22. Now on to the 11-man slate. These are games played this evening. Ash Grove defeated Sarcoxy 18-10. Salem over Kabul 33, Tex. Russellville 41, Fate 26. Montgomery County 54, Louisiana 21. West Platte over North Platte 41-34. Penny shuts out Plattsburgh at home 27-0. Sherwood over Versailles 54-0. Brookfield to Marceline this evening 22-7. And Adrian went on the road to win a close one 28-27 over Cole Camp. Clark County 54, Highland Scene Marionville won at home 45-6 over Miller. Mountain Grove wins a home game 42-34 over Thayer. Palmyra defeats South Shelby 40-6. Poe Maysville 22-15. Van Far defeated Scotland County 46-14.
All right. We'll go back to the phone lines. We welcome in Forsyth head coach Chris Conley. Coach Conley, thanks for your time today.
Hello?
Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I think you cut out for just a second there. But
Coach, get a big win tonight over Buffalo. Tell us about the ball game.
yeah, just really proud of our guys. We came out and, kicked the ball off, played hard, good defense from the start. Yeah, man, really proud of them. Guys stepped up all over the place. And, some good stuff, man.
Well, talk about some of the players or maybe groups of players that played really well for you right now or tonight.
Yeah, man, a bunch of them really. Our seniors really got us rolling. A huge shout out to a guy who doesn't get a lot of credit, Clay Muller. He's our fullback, big boy, runs the ball well, blocks extremely hard, pass blocker, run blocker, and plays good linebacker for us. So very, very key part to us. Played really, really well tonight. Got a rushing touchdown, dragged some guys in the end zone for us. And, does a lot of work behind the scenes there. But, man, our guys, our quarterback, Chris Halbrook, man, he's been back. Our offense has really taken off, and he's been really, really good for us. KK Conway has finally gotten healthy, and he's done. And he had some big runs and had 3 touchdowns for us.
Good. Did you come out of tonight's contest relatively healthy?
We did. We took care of business in the first half. We got our varsity guys out and played a lot of our young guys and JV and young guys in the second half. And that was a good experience for them. And we feel pretty healthy coming into the playoffs now.
And coming into the playoffs, what is it that you feel like your team right now after a full regular season is doing really well?
Man, I think we're just playing with a lot of confidence. We felt like going into the year that we could have a pretty special season, and man, we have just handled adversity after adversity after adversity. There's been a lot going on, and we've had some injuries and kids play and all kinds of good stuff. So we've had guys stepping up all the course of the season, and now getting healthy. We've been really playing well, so I'm really excited.
What does it mean to secure at least the first round anyway, a home game? I believe you're going to be hosting Houston. What does that mean to the area?
Yeah, we'll be hosting Houston next week at our place. It's always fun. With tonight being senior night, we talked to our boys about taking care of business, and we want to play on our field again, and what we're going to have to do to make that happen. So our boys really took advantage of that and wanted to play at home again. So.
Well, outstanding, Coach. Well, hey, congratulations on the win. Thank you so much for being part of the show tonight, and hopefully throughout the playoffs we'll get to visit with you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give a couple shout outs. I know you probably got to go, but I want to give a huge shout out to our coaching staff. A defensive coordinator, Jared Bailey, offensive line coach, Josh Cole, Truman Jones, our running back, outside linebacker coach. Man, he's done a phenomenal job with them, and Coach Carlson with our offensive and defensive lines. And then honestly, our offensive line has really come together this season and are playing really well. So thank you, my man.
All right, Coach. Hey, talk to you soon. Congratulations, and hopefully we'll get to visit with you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guy.
All right, we'll see, Coach.
Later.
Coach Chris Conley there joining us, and he may have been on a bus, but hey, we're used to that. This is 19 years I've been doing this, so every now and then you got to talk to a coach on a bus, and sometimes their cell cuts out, sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it doesn't. But certainly appreciate Coach Conley taking time to join us. Well, just a few minutes left here. We're going to let this time I promise I'm going to let Kent get all the way through the scores, and then we'll wrap her up and get out of here. But, hey, as always, presented by Doak Propane, the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. And stay tuned. All next week, we've got shows coming out virtually every day, from D-Row and Arch to Where Are They Now Wednesdays to High School Game Day to the Missouri Milestones. I encourage you, go to our Facebook page and give us a like. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. You want to be the smartest fan in the stands? Just keep it right here on the Missouri Sports Network. Back to the score desk in Camp Mueller.
Okay, games last evening. Grandview Hero 42, Crystal City 12, Branson over Hillcrest 29-0. Kirkwood defeated Hazelwood Central 38-6. North 24, Sullivan 22. Republic defeated Willard last evening 59-7. Helias over Lift for Life Academy 45-28. Jeffrey shuts out Lutheran St. Charles 42-0. Nixa 63. Glendale 21. Portageville shuts out Central of New Madrid County 34-0 home last evening. Sky 67. Diamond 7. Stockton over Pierce City 51-27. Kearney was all over Excelsior Springs at home 63-6. And it was Carthy to Fiosho last evening 56-14. Tonight, starting with the 8-man games, Bramer 86, Slater 58, Tarkio over DeKalb on the road 64-6. Appleton City over Jasper 52-0. It was Drexel defeating New Heights Christian 70-20. Northland Christian defeated Kansas City East Christian, which is out of Wyandotte County, Kansas, 30-18. Osceola 42, Greenfield 40. Rockport over Mound City 36-14, and it was West Nottoway 56, South Holt 6. South Nottoway over Stewartsville 56-34. Lincoln over Bishop LeBlond. It's Bishop LeBlond. I made that mistake twice tonight. Bishop LeBlond 44, Lincoln 36. Wellington Napoleon 28 on the road against Concordia with 22. St. Paul Lutheran 47, Oric 14. Lockwood goes on the road to shut out Rich Hill 63-0. Paris over Schuyler County 61-14. St. Joseph Christian wins a close one at home 42-38 over Princeton. And it was Worth 36, King City 22. That wraps up the 8-man scores that we have. On to the 11-man. Ash Grove won at home against Sarcoxy 18-10. Salem over Kabul 33-6. Russellville over Fayette 41-6. Hayti won at home against Malden 44-0. Montgomery County 54, Louisiana 21. Platte over North Platte 41-34. Penny won at home 27-0 over Plattsburgh. Sherwood over Versailles 54-0. Brookfield 22, Marceline 7. Adrian over Colcamp 28-27. South Harris 30, Gallatin 10. Clark County over Highland 54-16. Marionville won at home against Miller 45-6. Mountain Grove won at home against Thayer 42-34. And it was Palmyra defeating South Shelby at home 40-6. Polo defeats Mayville this evening 22-15. Van Far 46, Scotland County 14. Windsor wins at home 42-20 over Crest Ridge. Bowling Green 38, Mark Twain 12. Lafayette County 35, Carrollton 18. Forsyth wins at home 43-0 Olo, and Fulton over Deschênes 42-6. It was Deer Creek Mackinac out of Illinois coming into Missouri to play Kelly and winning 50-13. Lamar won a close one at home over Seneca 29-28. It was Liberty Mountain View 50-21. Monroe City 54. Macon 21. Clever went on the road to defeat Springfield Catholic 13-7. St. Vincent won at home over Jefferson Festus 41-8. Fair Grove 35, Stratford 7. Valley Catholic won at home 14-7 over St. Pius of Festus. Oaks was all over Southern Boone 76-3. Butler shuts out El Dorado Springs 14-0. Fredericktown 40, East Prairie 14. Knob Noster over Holden 28-14. Centralia over Kirksville 20-17. Lawson won at home over Lathrop 41-7. It was Trenton going on the road to defeat Lone Jack 40-7. Mid Buchanan defeats East Buchanan to stay undefeated 63-7. North Callaway shuts out Wright City 54-0 as Richmond shuts out Lex 45-0. Father Hilton defeated St. Michael the Archangel 53-27. It was St. Genevieve 30, Caruthersville 9. Union home over Herman 35-0. Warsaw all over Pleasant Hope 86-6. Ava goes on the road to defeat Willow Springs 77-36. Afton won a close one at home 15-14 over Normandy Collaborative. Clinton defeated Center on the road 43-20. Gateway 33, Donovan 6, Boonville 58, Eldon 19. DeSoto went on the road to defeat Herculaneum 35-26. It was Central Cape Girardeau 35, Kennett 8. Maya stays undefeated at 9-0, 45-28 over Lift for Life Academy. Mount Vernon won at home 50-42 over Monette, and Osage in a close one over St. Francis Borgia 13-12. Cassville defeats Aurora this evening 42-14. Chillicothe shut out Benton 29-0. McDonald County went on the road against East Newton to win 28-0. Farmington 56, Central Park Hills 12. Hallsville over California 47-22. Maryville got the shutout home against Lafayette St. Joseph 51-0. St. Clair 55, Owensville 15, Hollister 56, Reed Spring 42. Van Horn wins a home game against Pembroke Hill 24-17, and Warrensburg shuts out Oak Grove at home 40-0. Fort Zumwalt West 31-28 over Hannibal. Kearney all over Excelsior Springs 63-6. Liberty Wentzville wins at home over Holt 42-10, and it was filled. Winning at home against Highland High out of Arkansas 28-20. Odessa 33, Harrisonville 28. Smithville defeats Winnetonka 42-0, and St. Dominic stays undefeated to defeat Westminster Christian 45-21. Christian Brothers stays undefeated. Their road game tonight against St. Mary's Side 56-9. Lincoln College Prep defeats Sumner out of Kansas 38-26. West Plains 37, Carl Junction 30. Jackson 2-21 over Festus. Raytown South 22-0. University City defeats Jennings this evening 8-6. Logan Rogersville in a close one 14-7 at home against Bolivar. Nevada 21, Pleasant Hill 19. Northeast of Kansas City home defeats J.C. Harmon out of Wyandotte County, Kansas 55-12. Camden shuts out southeast of Kansas City 63-0. St. Pius of Kansas City wins a close one at home against Savannah 21-20. Warrenton 13, Fort Zumwalt South 0. Belleville East out of Illinois 27, Cap City 10. Eureka 49, Pattonville 25. Fort Osage wins against William Chrisman 35-0. Webb City over Joplin 42-28 this evening. 56, Neosho 14. Parkview in a close one at home against Rolla 18-16. It was Hazelwood East 21, Parkway West 17. Platte County defeated Raytown this evening to stay undefeated 42-7. It was Rockwood Summit 26 to Rittenauer with 0. Troy Buchanan shuts out Battle at home 49-0. Lebanon goes on the road to defeat Waynesville 56-7. Washington 45, Francis Howell Central 38. Grain Valley won big at home against Truman 5-6. Parkway South on the road at Hazelwood West, winning 42-8. Lindbergh wins at home against Melville 44-0. Rockhurst defeats St. Louis University High 35-14. Belt goes on the road to defeat Ruskin 44-0, and Seckman travels to Webster Groves and wins 56-23. Blue Springs South 42, Lee Summit West 9. DeSmet defeats Edwardsville out of Illinois 30-15 this evening. Lafayette Wild is undefeated against Marquette, winning 43-15. Liberty over North Kansas City 2-21. Park Hill goes to Oak Park 45-0. Park Hill South wins at home over Central St. Joe 28-14. Lee Summit over Lee Summit North 37-16. Blue Springs over Liberty North 27-14. Oakville goes on the road to win a close one at Northwest Cedar Hill. It was Oakville 10, Northwest Cedar Hill 7. Kickapoo in a close one on the road over Ozark 32-1. Staley defeats Raymore Peculiar 20-17. And games that'll be played tomorrow. Kip KC Legacy will play at Cy of Kansas City. John Burroughs picks up a forfeit win tomorrow against Confluence Prep. Parkway Central will travel to McClure North. Milledgeville out of Illinois will come into Missouri to play North Shelby. Freeburg out of Illinois will state to play Prairie. And it'll be Session Academy going on the road to play Hogan. And in 8-man tomorrow, it will a forfeit win, Knox County over Keatsville. And then we have Mexico playing at MICDS, Cuba at Perryville. Miller will pick up a forfeit win over Roosevelt. And in a game I'll be calling at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Cameron will be playing at University Academy. Those are all the games, Guy.
Outstanding. Outstanding. I know we went a little bit over there. It's 11:09 here. But as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Certainly got everybody tuned in. Have a good night. And this will replay tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.